G'day legends, Craig from Beastie Life, back with another Beastie's Life Corner product review, and today it is the kick-ass 8-gang wireless 12-volt switch panel. So this is a great bit of gear that will allow you to use a wireless remote to turn all your 12-volt options on, whether you've got lights, winches, this and that. It's got a 60-metre range, which is unreal, so you can be miles from the campsite or your car, turn your lights on and you're good to go. So it's saying here, yeah, remote control, USB-C rechargeable, no batteries, which is cool. Mounting options, they've got some brackets and stuff to do that. It's plug and play, which we love. ISP65, weather rating, not bad. So high DC power input, so it can handle up to 60 amps combined through the 8 switches. Multi light mode, so this panel can be mucked around with RGB lighting to make it good, but it's fully customizable too, so you can have these little stickers you put everywhere, and you can make them whatever you want, wherever you want. So yeah, kick-ass branded. They're Australian owned and operated, which is cool, but the product is made in China, as is everything. And yeah, they're just examples here: light bars, fridges, compressors, water pumps, whatever. You'll be allowed to remotely turn on a fuse block through the switch. So pretty cool. Let's open up the box and we'll see what you get. Okay, we'll crack her open. It's looks well packaged. Got some protection foam there. Oh, here's our myriad of stickers. What do we got? 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 70, 140 different stickers there. If you can't find what you're looking for there, then you don't need it. So that's cool. And we got our wiring, so positive and negative wiring, already crimped, which is very handy. Now here is our fuse block. So what do we got here? Hang on, it's a bit tricky to get out. Alright, so there's our positive and negative inputs. It's telling you it's max current 60 amps. Please stick to the voltage. Very important there. Oh, you get some spare fuses. And then here's our actual fuse block. So it's got an accessories input here, positive and negatives. And this is the remote aerial to allow your wireless receiver to get that. So there's our wires. What's that? It's probably about 150 mil tall. So it's got a 3M sticky pad on the bottom, and that will go into there once you mount your fuse block. So there's your 8 fuses. They're all lit too. Depending if they blow, it'll be easy enough to find which one's out. And there's recommendations on the side for the maximum amperages: 10, 15, 20. So some bigger ones, some smaller ones. Very good. It's quite heavy, all metal, not a bad construction. So the accessories here, there's a little, if you wanted to run it through accessories to get power without turning the car on, that's where you would plug that in there. Looks like you flick it on and off to activate it, and good to go there. So that's that. What else do we got? There's your block fuse, which is great. So it is a 60 amp, that's provided. That's very handy. So we'll run our wiring through the fuse. There's some mounting hardware, and here is our actual switch block, our actual switch. It's not very thick actually, it's pretty cool, it's pretty light, but it is a metal construction. And there's our numerous buttons, kick-ass branded, on and off power. She hasn't got any charge at the moment, but there it has an on and off button, on and off, and this is probably our, yep, there's our USB-C charging port. So all in all, it's yeah, pretty good. All right, I'll get it all out, clear it up, and I reckon we'll plug her in and see how it all lights up. Okay. Okay legends, so yeah, just did the bottom under the foam. I did find some instructions. Kick-ass do pride themselves on having very detailed instructions. They write them themselves. Even if they buy something from China, they rewrite it. And yeah, this looks pretty comprehensive as a DIY option. So we're going to run through it ourselves, but it is all there if you need to have a crack and you get a bit lost. But let's get into it. I'll start wiring it up and I'll come back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and wired everything up just to make it quick and easy. So I'll quickly run through what we had again. So this is our cover plate for our base unit, our controller unit. And the way we work out our positive and negative, this only goes on one way. So you can see that that clip goes into there, which makes that one negative and that one positive. So I still think they should have written it somewhere here. It isn't, but that's how it is. So, and the only other thing I noticed too is you have to run your wire out for your negative out this side, because that's where it's recessed. For the positive, it's recessed on the side and there. So you can do either. Okay, but that's that. So there's our positive and negative. Negatives running off to the battery, positives running off to our fuse block, which is currently off, and then through the fuse, and then that positive runs off to our battery. Over here, the only other thing coming out of here is our coax cable for our aerial, which is sitting there, and then I have gone ahead and wired up just the garden light, so we've got something to test to come on. Now the way that it works, you've got your 8 switches here, and the way they're doing it is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that'll correspond with our switches here, which go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically I'm using 1, and then it will be 1, and then I'll go ahead and I'll pick the appropriate sticker. I'll just knock the aerial over, get the appropriate sticker, which there's trillions, and stick it on to here, and then we're good to go. So what else was there? So they do supply a fuse, a 15 amp fuse, which we run with the accessories. So you can choose to have it to activate when you have your accessories on your car, or you can just have it completely hardwired, which is what I'm going to do, but I will show you how the accessories work. So let's go ahead and power it up. So I'll just get power to the corner, and we turn around and get the fuse. So there we go. So there's power to the unit, which is what we want. And then the next thing we need to do is, they say it comes paired, but I will just show you anyway how it goes. So we've got to turn it on. It is already on, charged it up. Power. Okay, so there's the colors. So with the display, it's just a matter of, if you hit these colors, RGB, it just cycles through, and then there's a setting where it just goes all through the different colors. This middle button changes the brightness, but there you go. So let's find a color. I don't know, we'll go blue. Okay, so in theory, it's powered on. As soon as we hit the corresponding button with the corresponding switch, it should activate the switch, give us the power, and we're good to go. It's that simple. So I already have paired it, but I will show you how to do it. So what they're saying is this little button here, you hold this down until it flashes red. There it goes, it flashes red. And then my understanding is you hold RGB down till it goes red, which it has. That is now solid light, not blinking, and it is paired. So then if we can hit RGB again, get our desired color, and then there's our switch. So if I hit the other ones, it's activating them, and you can see them. I think you can see this. You can see them light up. I'll just turn one off so you can see it. You can see the others light up as we activate them, so you know that they're working. It's good that it tells you if the light's not working, the fuse is blown, like that. So pretty good. Good stuff, nice and simple, very easy to do. Now I'll just show you the accessories part. So basically what you'd be telling it is that you flick this switch over if you want permanent power, or if you put the accessories in, it's just a matter of plugging in the accessories wire, running that through the 15 amp fuse, and then we flick this switch over. Now that will only work when the accessories is powered. So if I go switch 1, this accessory is currently hooked up to the battery, but if I turn the battery off, as in you're turning the accessories off, it's not activated. So if I'll turn that off, let's just say we've turned the accessories on, which I'm doing by turning the battery, nothing, then it works. Or I turn my accessories off and we lose everything. So it's brilliant. I'm not going to be using this, so I'll just take that out. I'm going to have it hardwired because it's going in the back of Beastie near the battery, but that's it. That's how it works. So let's go ahead and I'll move on to mounting options. Okay, so just in the back of Beastie here, this is where I have all my electronics mounted. So on the other side of this box is the fridge, and I've got the battery just directly below here, and this is where all my electronics was always going to be protected out of the way. So here's my 12 volt shunt, my power coming in, and this is an existing fuse box that I've got, which runs a lot of my permanently mounted things, USBs, fans, the shunt and so on. So this will be different in wireless as far as I'll be looking to mount lights, are things that I want to turn on and off from outside the vehicle, hence the wireless part. So here's where I've chosen to mount it. I've just put it here, a couple of screws straight through. Now the next thing is the fuse block. So I've put the fuse block here. Now for me, my power comes in just over here from the secondary battery. So all I did, the cables they gave us was so long. This is the power cable, one of the power cables, and I was just able to cut it in half, and I'm going to just put my own lugs on there. So I'll turn around and cut it right down. So, and to measure it up, all you do, place it on the battery side there, put my lug I've got on, and it's only got to get onto there, and that's measured perfectly. So that's that, and the other side, this one comes out and we'll go same thing. Just cut it down, stripped it, put the lug on, make sure you get your distance right. That's going to be nice there. And then the cover has the gap underneath here, so when it's on, it'll be able to go up like that. So that's that. That's our mounting positions. I'm going to go ahead. I'll quickly show you how I'm going to lug these. Okay, legends, just a quick recap. I've crimped things with lugs and stuff on in previous videos, but simply just push that in like so. I've got a good set of crimpers here. They're big fellas, you can get plenty of purchase on them. Fully adjustable. I got these for JCar, they were like 75 bucks, but they're worth their weight in gold. So very difficult to do one-handed. So having a vice or someone to help you hold it is certainly easier. Just goes on like so, and then plenty of like so, and that's going to go nowhere. A nice good seal, and then I'll just put some protective heat shield over it. Run out of red, so I'll just use clear, no dramas. Heat shrink it up and go from there. Okay, legends, so I've gone ahead, I've hooked everything up and ready for our big test. So just a recap, positive comes out here. It says that the positive using our lid, positive, negative. So positive down here into the auxiliary side of the fuse box. It is labelled through the fuse, out the other side to your positive power connection. So this is where the power comes in from my auxiliary battery. Then runs through the switch to the fuse box, which we'll test. Negative comes out here, it can come out the side, but I've chosen, there was a gap down here, so I've chosen to come through the lid, down around here through, and it goes on to the negative side of my shunt, so I can measure anything that comes through here, I can measure the load through my digital display. That's a personal choice, or you would just go straight to the negative side of your battery. Either or, doesn't matter. Okay, and then next thing, I have wired just the 12 volt, that 12 volt garden light back in, positive, negative, doesn't matter in this case, which is which, but yeah, plug that into 20. So when I turn I did pair this again, had to pair this again, but turned around, got everything done, and then the only thing left to do was the little coax comes out here. This is our antenna, and here he is sitting here. Okay, so gone ahead. If you need to repair it, but I'm ready to go. So plugged it into 1, which corresponds with 1. Turn this on, should see the garden light come on. Boom, there we go. We also get the red light indicator on our thingo too. So if I start hitting all of them, lights, things are coming up, will tell us whether we've blown a fuse or not. So that's interesting. So 3, oh, there it goes. 3's lit up, so on and so on. Sorry about the camera work. And there we go. So that's it. So last thing left to do is if we trip the fuse, we should see trip our fuse block here, we should see everything go out. Garden lights, the fuse lights, the Worksburger. So there we go. That simulates that tripping. That's done, and we're good. Flicking back. Right, it doesn't actually reactivate everything. It looks like cutting power to it means it has to be repaired, which is quite interesting. So in that case, oh no, it just takes a second to kick in. Fair enough. All right, good to go. So hope you guys like that. I'm going to be, next video, I'm going to be hooking up some rock lights underneath Beastie, and that'll be used, that's exactly what I want it for, so that I can be outside the car, trip the rock lights, or be inside the car, keep this up the front with me, and turn things on and off as we want. So look out for that one. If you're liking the content, subscribe. You'll get plenty more videos, starting to smash things out, and spread the word. The more the merrier. So thanks for watching.